I'm back, people. It's the sand, it's the waves, it's the beautiful sunshine outside. I hope you're doing well. It feels good to be alive. Hope you're doing alright. Alright, so just want to remind you that today we're going to be talking about subtracting integers. And of course my email is Reid@Davidson. You know all that if you got any questions. I got a couple questions for you to start out today. What kind of tree fits in your hand? What kind of tree fits in your hand? That would be a palm tree. Get it? It fits in your hand because it's a palm tree. And how do you know the ocean is friendly? Well, it waves. So, if you're feeling down or if you're feeling blue today, folks, just think about the ocean waving at you. Maybe sitting underneath a palm tree and enjoying the breeze blow through your long hair that you haven't had cut in over a month. Alright, let's get down to it, folks. Alright, so subtracting integers, today we're going to focus on additive inverse. So we're just going to get right into it and we're going to talk about how that works. So let's say you've got a problem like this where you've got 41 minus negative 58. Alright, so we've got 41 minus negative 58. So we're going to keep this, okay, going to keep the first one, going to change that to addition, and we're going to take the opposite of that, okay. Alright, so this is called using additive inverse. So we keep that one, we're going to make that addition. I'll write it in a different color here, so let's see. Since we're talking about palm trees, let's see if we can do this. Alright, so it would be 41, going to keep it, change that from subtract to addition, okay, and then take the opposite of that, okay, that's the inverse part, and that would be of course 58. And then it becomes a much simpler problem. You've got 41 plus 58, which is of course 99. Okay. So keep the first number the same. Okay, going to do the additive part here. Going to take the subtraction sign, make an addition sign. Then you take the opposite or the inverse of this second number after the sign, okay, after your symbol here, and make it the opposite. Alright, let's come over here and do another one. Let's say you've got negative 32 minus 16. Okay. So again, we're going to keep this the same. We're going to take the opposite of that, or change that to addition. And then we're going to take the opposite of that. Okay. So if we keep this first one the same, that means it's going to be negative 32. If we change this from subtraction, of course we're going to change it to addition, just like we did over here. So we're going to change that to addition. And then we're going to take the opposite of that number after the subtract sign, and the opposite of 16, of course, is negative 16. And if you do negative 32 plus negative 16, since they're both negative, okay, since they've got the same sign, when they've got the same sign, you just add them together. So that would be negative 48. Okay, so this is called using the additive inverse. And when you do that, you just do keep, change, opposite. And then keep, change, opposite. Okay, don't forget, if you got any questions, just email me right there. Alright, we're going to do a few more. Okay, just these are ones you're going to be working on today. Okay, I've just taken some of the numbers and changed them up some. Alright, so let's say you've got some where you've got x equals negative 3 and y equals negative 7 and z equals 11. Okay, so we're going to do some with some variables here. So let's say your problem is z minus y. Okay, so if we're doing z minus y, okay, z is 11, so I'd come right underneath there and write 11 there. Just go ahead and keep it subtraction to start with. Okay, and then y is negative 7. So here is the original problem, okay? Z is 11, Y is negative 7, and I just, put the subtract sign in there to start with. So that's the original problem. Alright, if I do additive inverse to that, I keep the first number the same. We'll change that to addition. And then I'm going to take the opposite of negative 7, which is positive 7. And so that would give me 11 plus 7, which of course just plain old 11 plus 7 is 18. Okay, so there's one. Alright, let's do this another one. Let's say we have Y minus Z. Okay, Y minus Z. So look up here and say, okay, Y is negative 7. Keep that subtract sign for the time being. Okay, Z is 11. So my original problem is negative 7 minus 11. Okay, negative 7 for Y, 11 for Z. Now I'm going to do additive inverse to that. So keep the first one the same. So negative 7 stays. Go and change the subtract sign to addition. That's the additive part. The inverse of 11 is negative 11. Okay. So negative 7 plus negative 11 after you do additive inverse. Those are both the same symbol now. Okay. Negative 7 plus negative 11. That would give you negative 18. Alright. Now, let's do one more of these. So let's say you have got X minus Y minus Z. X minus Y minus Z. Alright. So start out with X is negative 3, so that would be negative 3 minus Y is negative 7 minus Z is 11. So all I'm doing is substituting in the numbers, okay? Negative 3 for X, negative 7 for Y, 11 for Z. And I'm going to go through and do additive inverse to all the subtract signs. So that would be negative 3 plus the opposite of negative 7 is 7 plus opposite of 11 is negative 11. Okay, so this time the only thing you get to keep is the very first one. Alright, keep that one. Make that addition. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. Take that, make it addition. The opposite of 11 is negative 11. So now we're going to do it one little part at a time. Okay, so negative 3 plus 7. Alright, so here's where we've got different signs. And this is the only time you really subtract. Okay, so when you have different signs, you subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. So 7 minus 3 is 4, and that would be a positive 4 because 7 is a bigger number than 3. Okay, so basically that's 7, take away 3, gives you 4. Now I'm going to bring down the rest of it. Alright, again, I have different signs here. Okay, 4 is positive, 11 is negative. So you subtract them. So 11 minus 4 is 7. Now which one of those numbers is the bigger number? Is 4 a bigger number or is 11 a bigger number? 11 is, so you got to take the sign of the bigger number. That means you've got more negatives than you got positives. So that would mean you would have negative 7. Okay? So when you got different signs, subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. When you got different signs, subtract, take the sign of the bigger number. Okay, here the bigger number was a positive number. Here on this one, the bigger number was a negative number. So negative 7 is your answer for that. Alright, so the only time you subtract is when you got different signs. If they've got the same sign, like here, these had the same sign, you add them. If these had the same sign, you add them together, give you negative 18. Different signs, got to subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. Alright, now in this work you're going to be doing, you're going to have some year 1 versus year 2 numbers between some different breeds of dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So this is the little thing you're going to be working on right here. Okay, so you got year 1 versus year 2. Okay, and you're trying to find the change in the number of dogs from year 1 to year 2. So I'm going to take some of these and just change the numbers up a little bit just to give you a couple examples of those. Okay, So let's say we've got the breed. We got year 1. We got year 2. Okay. So those of you that are watching the video, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching it. Hope these are helpful to you. So let's just say we've got, we'll just say we've got beagles. And we'll change the numbers up from what's on that page. All right. So let's say in year 1 there were 55,200. Okay, registered. Okay, now let's say in year 2 there were 48,600. Now if you go from year 1 registrations to year 2 registrations, you can see that that number goes down quite a bit. Okay, it was 55,000 in year 1. Okay, down to 48,000 in year 2. So this is going to be a decrease in the number of beagles that were registered from year 1 to year 2. Okay, so this is going to end up being a negative number, okay, because it decreased. So the change is going to be a negative number. Now we're just going to work it out like normal. So we'd go 55,000. Let's do it down here. Can you see it if I do it down here? Yeah, 55,200 minus 48,600. Okay, so you know those are zeros. Going to have to borrow from there. That's 600. 54 minus 48. That's 9. So that is going to be 6,600. So it is a decrease from year 1 to year 2. That is a decrease, or a negative 6,600 dogs that got registered. Alright, I hope you understand that. That's what I want to make sure I talk about on the video. So the number of beagles that got registered went down. So that's a decrease. Alright, let's do another one. Let's say we've got the chow chows. Alright, so let's say its number was 7,320. And then in year 2, there were 9,635. Okay, so from year 1 to year 2, there was an increase in the number of chow chows that got registered. Okay, 9,000 is more than 7,000, so that number is going to be a positive. Okay, again, we're just going to come down here and do the math for that. So 9,635 minus 7,320. That should be pretty simple. That's 5, 1, 3. So from year 1 to year 2, there's an increase. So that's a positive number. Okay, 2,315. Now, when you type it in on the computer, you don't have to put the positive sign necessarily. I was just saying that for, just to help you understand it. So you can just put in 2,315 when you type it in. Okay, so make sure you understand that from one to the other, there is either a decrease in the number of dogs that were registered, or an increase in the number of dogs that were registered. Okay. Alright, so we're going to think about palm trees. Don't think about the sand. Gonna be thinking about the ocean waving at me. Don't forget today, this is called using the additive inverse, where you keep the first number, change the subtract sign to addition, and then you take the opposite of the second number. Okay? So keep the first number, change the subtract to addition. That's the additive part. And then take the opposite of the second number. That's the inverse part. If they've got the same sign, add them together. If they've got different signs, okay, you want to subtract, take the sign of the bigger number. I hope you have a great day. If you get frustrated, just think about the wind blowing through that nice long hair you've got. And until then, ciao, ciao, baby. Adios.